Welcome to The Hot Slice, a podcast brought to you by Pizza Today magazine. I'm senior editor Kate Lavin, and I'm joined today by host of this podcast, executive editor of Pizza Today, Denise Greer. Hello, Denise.
Hello, Kate. How are we doing today?
Very well. How are you?
Not too bad. July, it's a big time. It is a big time for us. We're moving forward with the later half of the year. Big stuff coming up. So,
Yes.
uh, exciting time, especially at Expo Columbus. Reg opened, competition spots open. So we hope that that'll fill up soon.
Yes, it looks like there's going to be some different and very fun pizza competitions at Columbus that I'm looking forward to checking out.
I'm looking forward to the breadstick competition and the
Yes,
garlic knots competition myself. I don't know.
you can find it eating stuff people dropped.
I know, right?
Ah, So we have a fun episode today. We're joined by Jhy Coulter, restaurateur and creator of Orange by Devoured, a pizzeria in Kansas City, Missouri.
Absolutely. And she's so great. And just what she's doing in Kansas City, she's getting a lot of buzz, especially from the pizza community on her efforts there. And we love to see it. So of course, she's a rising star, you know?
Yes, yes. If you have not checked out the July issue of Pizza Today magazine, please do. She is one of our six rising stars. And should we get started?
I think we should just jump right in. She's got a great conversation. It was a pretty long conversation too.
Yeah, she was lovely.
Performance Food Service is proud to deliver high-quality products, innovative technology, and custom operational solutions to restaurants of all sizes across the country. The flagship division of Performance Food Group, with deep roots in the restaurant industry, Performance Food Service has been the exclusive distributor of the Roma family of brands for more than 65 years. This signature relationship has allowed Performance Food Service to become a leader in the pizza and Italian segment of food service nationwide. Are you ready to elevate your bakeware game? Spokane, Washington-based Lloyd Pans is the trusted name for professionals and home chefs alike. For over 40 years, Lloyd Pans has been creating innovative food service, bakeware, and pizza pans and tools designed to deliver perfect results every time. Whether it's crispy golden pizza crusts or perfectly baked pastries, Lloyd Pans' durable, stick-resistant, and proprietary pan finishes are a game changer. Visit lloydpans.com to explore our full lineup and find your perfect pan today. Need shipping quotes or custom products? Email sales@lloydpans.com for personalized service.
Welcome, Jai. Thank you so much for joining us on the Hot Slice podcast.
Thanks so much for having me. I really appreciate being here and everything. Super excited to chat with you.
We're really excited to have you as one of our rising stars for 2025. This is really great. You were just saying how Kansas City is kind of undergoing a big development in terms of the food scene. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, our city is right now, we're in the midst of a lot of building. We are actually we're having our streetcar, so it got reconstructed and everything, and the line is actually extended. So it's actually going to be a little bit more walkable in some areas. And we also have the only women's soccer stadium. Yeah, so Casey Current, so they're opened up and everything. So we have a lot of growth. We also are hosting the World Cup.
Yes, we are.
So it's just like Kansas City is kind of hitting this point where yeah, there's a lot of new local businesses, but also like we still have our staples and everything is just like rapidly growing. And so Orange, it's a part of this this extensive overhaul of goodness that's coming. And so I'm super excited. We've been open for a year now. It'll be in August, and so in the next 5 years, I feel like it's going to be really, really great. The neighborhood's going to be super well connected, and yeah.
That's
That's so
awesome.
exciting. Is the streetcar development part going to be to your neighborhood as well, where Orange is?
So it's kind of sort of. So we're off of 31st and Gillum, and in between 31st and Gillum and 31st and Main. And
Yeah.
so the streetcar goes down Main Street. So yeah, like I mean basically you can get off that stop on 31st and then walk to Orange. or ride your bike to Orange. But yeah, it's definitely. I'm thinking it's going to be a game changer for sure.
How exciting. Did you know that was going to happen when you selected this spot?
So I knew that things were happening in the city, like tons of stuff kind of all at once. However, I don't think it really dawned on me until I like got in the shop, was building, and was like, and I was getting impatient with,
Yeah.
I'm like, I want to open, I want to, I like really want to be a part of this neighborhood. Like, let's get this thing going. And then that's when I was like, oh, like actually, if I just take a step back and like look around, like there's a lot of stuff going on. There's apartments being built right here. There's,
Yeah.
like a ton of development. So yeah, like I kind of like was like, oh, okay. It dawned on me like, okay, maybe actually it's a good thing that I opened when I did, and everything happens in good timing. So yeah.
And timing it with the World Cup. I don't think people understand unless they've been in cities that have hosted world events,
hmm
like an international event like the World Cup, what that can do for your city and for the small businesses in that location. I actually just saw something, maybe a week ago, that they're offering incentives to local businesses to do some kind of pop-ups near the or open in some of the storefronts that are available near the World Cup. Is that what I saw?
So yeah, they're giving incentives to local or new businesses that but in vacant places
Hmm.
around the city. So they're wanting to fill some of those voids, and just try to be able to support
Hmm.
the what is it, all of the people that will be
Yeah.
here. So so yeah, so they, the city's idea was to kind of, incentivize and say, hey, like, move into these spaces, we can like help you out, um
Hmm.
by, giving you a sum to go towards your rent, or to go towards, getting up and running. That would have been great. When,
About a year ago,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
right?
yeah, but it's gonna be really great for, those businesses that have maybe been
Yeah.
wanting to open up a spot, and now it's created an opportunity for them. So
Yeah.
yeah, the city is doing that. I'm not really sure how everything works.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, I don't know if you're an existing business, if you
Yeah.
would benefit from that, but I don't think so.
Hmm.
Because I probably would have already jumped on that, but
Yeah. I didn't know if there was maybe a pop-up opportunity there or something, or a way to market yourself with the World Cup guests.
yeah,
Uh,
no,
so.
it really is just for like actually moving into a spot,
Oh,
some of those
wow.
vacant spaces, yeah, like actually taking it on, getting a lease. Not really like a pop-in type of option.
Mhm.
But yeah, I don't know. Maybe someone will come up with some type of collaboration like that. That actually is a great idea to
Yeah.
do.
Well, there we go. We manifested it into reality. So
Yeah,
maybe it'll work.
for sure.
Speaking of pop-ups, Jai, you kind of started your business through pop-ups, right?
Yeah, yeah. I actually started the business in my backyard, and
Nice.
so originally, so it was 2019 when I actually won the pizza oven and everything on Instagram, with Maddie Matheson and Gosney, and so then I was just using it for like, Chiefs games and like, family stuff, and but it really wasn't until the pandemic hit is when I actually like started having people come pick up orders, and like I started a business.
Yeah.
So that kind of accelerated that, but basically the whole goal was to see friends and family, and just kind of have a way to like see them through the fence, like, hey, give them a quick pie and stuff. And then it just kind of slowly evolved into actually doing events, and farmers markets, collaborations with bars that didn't have any food or anything like that. So um, birthday parties, all types of things. But it
Yeah.
was just super incredible to that transition from pop up. Honestly, it was a grind doing that for sure.
Yeah. I bet.
Getting those ovens all around, and breaking down, your setup and having, it's a lot, but it was really, really fun.
And dealing with the dough temperature, doing
Oh
all kinds
yeah.
of
Oh
crazy
gosh.
stuff.
Yeah, that was really stressful. I had to get really creative with the way that I would travel with items. I'm surprised about some of the some of the things that I had to pull
All
off,
right, so
but
what was your most creative thing you did with your dough? Like, what's your secret? How did you keep your dough from blowing before you could cook it at
well,
your
so a lot of people would ask me that, and I went and bought these huge coolers, like you could fit.
hmm
So I wouldn't use like the regular dough trays. I would
hmm
actually use like these smaller, kind of like proofing boxes.
Okay.
They're like or like bread. What is it, like a kind of like a bread container, and so I
hmm
would literally stack those up, and I knew how many I could fit in like each cooler, and so I would do that, and then I would like basically put a bunch of like ice packs in between, close up
Uh,
the the cooler, and then I'd like bring ice, like I'd pick up ice uh before the event, and then I would just like basically we'd just try to crank out as much as fast so that it wasn't sitting out. I
mhm.
mean, sometimes like you couldn't control the heat
Yeah.
in Kansas City. It's
No.
humid and it's gross, so like we just had to work really quick, and then there would be a lot of holes in some dough balls, and so I had to patch up a lot of stuff. But really, like I mean, I think we all learned, like me and my team, just like how to work efficiently, and it's like got to make it work. And like if you don't have anything, or if you forgot something, like
Mhm.
if you forgot something for your line, like you're just gonna have to make it work. There's plenty of
Yeah.
times where I like forgot a pizza cutter, and we're like using scissors. And we're just like, well, gotta do what
That's
you
the
gotta do.
Italian way, though, right?
Exactly. Or using a dough box to cut it. It was like,
Yeah.
oh well,
We'll figure it
but
out, right?
yeah, yeah.
So for how long did you do the pop-up events? I guess including the ones in your backyard.
So it would have been um 4 years of pop-ups. So from 2020 to 2024, because I
hmm
was still like I was wait, is that all right? Yeah, because I was still doing pop-ups leading up to me opening Orange by
hmm
Devoured. And so so yeah, like I think like it was probably the last year of pop-ups I was very consistent with where I was at though.
Yeah.
Um I wasn't like going around wherever taking on any, because I would just take any opportunity to get out there. But yeah, towards that last year we were really kind of scaling back, and we were at like a brewery, and we were doing a lot of pizza classes and things like that. But yeah, we did 4 years of pop-ups, and then this will be our 1 year of brick and mortar.
Ooh, are you doing anything to celebrate your 1 year anniversary?
So I want to do something special. I think I want to do some type of like free slice day, or so
hmm
like we don't do slices at our shop, but I
Yeah.
think that people really, they just always love slices. But I think it would be super super fun that like invite the neighborhood and kind of have some type of event. I like literally have the like date in my head, but if the planning, I'm like, what do I want to do? What do we want to, how do we want to celebrate this thing? But I think some giveaways, something fun. I don't know. Yeah, just invite the community and like really just like celebrate us. Like a year that was hard.
Yeah.
I'll bet.
Make sure you reach out to your local media. Make sure you reach
Oh
out. Let them know
yeah,
what you're
that's
doing because you'll get some local media out of it. I know.
that's
Uh,
so true.
yeah.
What were some of kind of the highlights of the past year for you?
I feel like honestly the I had kind of a wild 1 year of being open. So we opened in August 15th last year, and that was when everyone was going back to school, and like,
Mhm.
summer's over and everything. And so I was pretty scared of just what the reception was going to be. when we first opened, like it was a great pop, and we were like, yes, this is like amazing, and super exciting. And then it actually started to tip down towards September, and so I got really
Yeah.
scared about it. I was just like, man, like this is not like the pop up because I'm going to the people with the pop up.
Yeah.
But brick and mortar is like I gotta get them here, and so I had to really shift my mindset on a lot of things.
Yeah.
It really humbled me. But I will say like some good times where October was really really great. We had like just I feel like Halloween time is in fall in Kansas
Yeah.
City is just like a really good time, and so that was just like super super just bubbly energy and everything.
Yeah.
However, at the end of October, I actually slipped on our floor, and
Oh
I had,
no.
yeah, I ruptured my patella tendon and
Mm.
actually had to have knee surgery.
Oh,
So like my staff had to take over like everything when November hit. And
wow.
so and so it's like we had just opened, we're like, I'm feeling this like stride and high in October. Like we're like, yes, like we're getting the hang of things, like the team's
Hmm.
doing great. And then I get injured. And so I was like, oh my gosh, this is insanity. Like, who's
Yeah.
gonna run this business and how are we gonna do this? But like such a blessing. Like my staff, they stepped up. So it's only a total of six of us,
Yeah.
and so like they all stepped up, helped
Yeah.
out. I mean, we were literally, I was just like having to FaceTime them from the bed, like, okay, like this is how we're gonna do stuff. Like they're going to get the, picking up products and just,
Hmm.
I mean, it was the way that they stepped up was like I'm so grateful to them just as human beings, but like I mean, just to own your own business is already scary, and then
Yeah.
you're like, but a lot of them have been with me, during the pop up. Some of them were
Hmm.
actually newer around that time and stuff, but everything worked out, and I still have my
Yeah.
same staff and everything. December, I was able to kind of, scoot around in a wheelchair and scoot around in a walker and stuff. But like getting through the winter, getting through
Yeah.
like that and everything, like it really just it opened my eyes and like just gave me a new found respect and like perspective
Hmm.
of life in the business and everything, and also just taking care of yourself.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was insanity. And then like after February passed, we're making it through. I actually took on a full-time job in January to cover some of the expenses because it's just like we're pretty slow. It's just it's a grind, and like these are things that
Yeah.
like I like no one ever really explains why it's hard or why it's a
Yeah.
grind, but I found out personally how how it could be, but then the clouds started to clear, and March came around, and April and everything, and things were on like the up and up, and I was feeling like pretty optimistic at that point, and so yeah, so now we're like coming up on a year, and a month and some change, and it's like this is like we've come so incredibly far, and like this is just insane crazy
Yeah.
ride, and it always has been a crazy ride even with the pop-ups, but it really, I don't know, it just made this journey special, and like made me like be a little bit more in the present of understanding like how like just enjoy
Yeah.
what you're doing, enjoy the food, enjoy the people, and like like these things are temporary, like you being maybe slow or you being, like it, but it's gonna eventually push.
Yeah.
So yeah,
No.
so
Well, when I think about that, I also think about being a new business owner. As a new business owner, a lot of times you get your hands in the dough a lot. Like and you seem to be one that like likes to be the pizziola, right? Like you like to get your hands in it. So having to shift gears and have your staff take on those parts And that probably gave you a whole new outlook as a business owner to focus on the other aspects of your business.
No, for sure. I honestly, I feel like it was a blessing in disguise, like
Yeah.
in that sense of like, okay, like, yeah, you can, you know the food, you know how to do these things, and like, but like, you need to let them also learn and do these things, and you need to learn to
Mhm.
like take your hands off of it, and you can't control everything. And so it was an early lesson like in the brick and mortar journey, but I really feel like it taught me a lot. Like, honestly, it felt like such a low blow in the moment,
Yeah,
but
I bet.
because you're just like, oh my gosh, like this is
Really.
crazy. But I think like thinking back, like it was one of those lessons that like it was necessary.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it might have taken years for you to get to that point where you'd feel comfortable stepping back in that way.
I know I wouldn't even be on this interview right now if I'd be in there like, okay, guys, stressed out, but it actually like gave me more peace of mind, and it like also gave them um more of their autonomy, and
Yeah.
so it just was like better and healthy for everybody.
Yeah, like a huge confidence booster for them knowing that
Oh
they're
yeah,
taking the wheels.
right.
They're making your creative, amazing pizzas.
Yeah, and doing it like most of the time better than when I was doing it. So they get raving reviews about like they're like, yeah, someone, made my pizza the other day, and like, this is amazing. Like, and I'm blown away. It makes me so happy.
Were there any developments that came out of that time that you have either, added to the menu permanently or made them part of how you do things every single day that maybe were something that came out of having other people step into the lead?
Yeah, I mean, I had to basically, you know, give them the reins on. I had to basically give the recipes and like teach and make sure. I mean, it was like a week before, so I got hurt, and then the doctor was like, "Okay, come see us," and then you have a week until surgery. So I had to use that week and teach my staff how to make dough, teach them how to, like, this is what this recipe looks like and everything. And like, because before that, they were helping me prep, but I was basically putting everything together. They would just get the elements together for me, and then I would, make everything. But now this is a well-oiled machine. Like, they're able
Yeah.
to, you know, I had to get over like them knowing a recipe. It's like they need to know these things. They need to know what it tastes like. They need to know how to make it. Like I cannot continue to hold them back and me back. So yeah, like it really did force me to give them those tools, and then also, I mean, but it made everything more efficient in the long run, because yeah, it was like, of course, scary for some of them at first. They're like, whoa, like they didn't want to mess anything up. They just didn't want that on their
Yeah.
shoulders. But I think like it just helped overall. And then like now they're just used to doing it, and so
Hmm.
they have a prep schedule, and it's like there's a bunch of systems that are now aligned,
Yeah.
and it just works. It just works way better. I'm like, wow, like I could have been doing this the whole time, but but I
You're
guess
like,
a
wait.
whole injury had to force me to do this.
Oh man, it's how we learn, I
Oh
learned
yeah.
through those struggle times way more than I'll learn through success. It's just that's
Yeah,
how
I'm
life
and I'm
works.
hard headed, so yeah,
Yeah,
it doesn't.
I feel you. I feel you.
I wanted to talk a little bit about your living overseas and how that kind of changed your perspective of food and what you brought back with you to the US.
Yeah, so I first went abroad. It was 2015, I believe, and so I actually went because my partner at the time was working in corporate and was so sick of it, and
Yeah.
so she had previously taught abroad in France, and so she's like, I have this itch again. I need to go. And so I was like, okay, like, yeah, I'm down. What do you think
Cool.
about doing? So, so she's like, I want to go to Spain this time,
Yeah.
because she had spoken uh, Spanish and French like as a kid and stuff. So she was already lengths ahead of me and everything. So I'm like, okay, I'm still in school, um, and I'm at UMKC at the time, and then so she goes, and then I plan to visit, and so it was just like Christmas break, and I actually like I had tried to study abroad, but it was like number one, super expensive, could not
Hmm.
even afford to
Yeah.
do that. But then number two, when I tried, like the coordinator just things didn't align with it, and it it was
Same.
really, yeah, it was just really disappointing. Like I was like I just couldn't make it work, and so I was like, dang, like that would have been a great opportunity to go. I could stay like longer. So I went to visit. Fast forward to the winter break, and so I was only supposed to stay a month, and I had told my mom when I was leaving, "Oh, I'm going to study abroad." And so I never told my partner, her name's Britt. I never told Britt that I was like I told my mom that I was studying abroad. She just knew that I was going to be there for a month and everything. So I'm there, and then it's like January, like 20 something, and she's like, "Hey, like, when's your like flight back and everything? Because we got to like start arranging like how we're gonna get to the airport and all that." And I'm like, "Oh, it was like a couple days ago." She's like, "What?" And so I was like, "Yeah." And so I basically that was my introduction to Spain. We were in this small pueblo. It's called Valdepeñas, and it's like 2 hours south of Madrid. And so I mean I still took online classes, so technically I was studying abroad, just not in the capacity that you would. But yeah, so basically we stayed, and so her program would go from October to June,
Hmm.
and so I was there from January until June with her, and I mean it was a game changer. It was amazing. Like, and I was in this small town, so it was just like so much local flavor, and like all these like bodegas and like winery. Just it was just insane. I was like, this is incredible, and I'd never been abroad. I mean, I traveled like in the States to a handful of places, but I mean it to be honest, changed the whole trajectory of my life after being there. And then like I fell in love with being in that small town. She was like, "This is just a small town," and I'm like, "No, like this is great." So then actually, she ended up doing the program again the next year, but she was placed in Valencia, Spain, and so
Hmm.
I went for a month. I really did stay for a month because I really had to graduate and get my degree. And so
Hmm.
then we were talking, and we're like, she's like, I want to do the program for the third year. You want to like do it with me, because you had to have a degree to do it. And so I was like, yeah, let's do it. So then
Yeah.
we got placed in Sevilla, Spain, and in the south, it's just like a whole different culture, and it was just a game changer. I mean, like literally, I brought back some Spanish tiles for Orange, and like they're my accent tiles and everything. And I
Oh
mean, like
wow.
I mean, I Sevilla is like always going to be a part of my like life. It's mixed with tradition. It's mixed with like it's still like kind of modern, but like it has just like everything. And so yeah, it just it that culture and like the hospitality and just the way that tapas would like buzz, and like they would like crank out food for hundreds of people in like such a short amount of time. I was just like, this is insane. Like I love this. I just love this energy, and so I wanted to like bottle that up and like take it back with me,
Hmm.
and just create the same type of feeling and same type of vibe. And I never really thought that pizza was going to be the vehicle, but
Yeah.
I did during college. I had worked at a pizzeria. It was a local pizzeria for
Ah,
about like 4 years. So that's kind of where like I had already I actually was forced to make pizza. It was like one day the pizza guy didn't show up, and then
that's how it happens,
yep,
right?
exactly. So I was like, okay, I guess that's gonna be me. So yeah, that kind of like it just all kind of meshed together, and it made sense. But yeah, when I came back, I mean, I just couldn't get enough of it. I mean, we traveled to other places as well.
Yeah.
But I was just so captured by Spain for some reason.
Was there a food experience you had in Spain, like one food experience you had in Spain that was just like over, it just sealed the deal. You maybe, I don't know. I don't know. I've cried during a food experience once. So I
Oh
don't know.
yeah. Well,
That one food experience where you're just like, wow, this is exactly what I want to create.
yeah, I had many. So I had a whole album on my phone of like Spanish eats, right? Like it was just
Hmm.
like all these like tapas places, all like the beer that I was drinking, all like because
Hmm.
during that time I was like going to craft breweries and I was just
Yeah.
like collecting labels and bottles and things like that and so I was like really inspired also by the design work there too. I was in graphic design and like I wanted to do like beer logos and things like that. So I was just already kind of interested in those things, but you know, there's like a handful of dishes that like I'm pretty obsessed with Spain. There's like I really love their boquerones and
Okay.
vinagre. So it's like basically like anchovies and vinegar and like oil.
Oh
Like
yeah.
those were like so mind blowing to me. I
People
don't know
don't
why.
understand how good
No,
anchovies can be. These guys
no,
turn their
seriously.
nose up at me, PCGA folks. I'm like, come on, guys, I love
Yeah,
anchovies.
and then they would have like the grilled ones, like where you just like you could eat the bone if you wanted to,
Yeah.
but it was just like all like these simple things put together. Like I really love tortilla española. It's just
Hmm.
eggs and potatoes, and then like they always would have like different sauces, like aiolis, and like they would have like the like pan con tomate, like it would
Mm.
basically just be tomato, salt, and olive oil, but like I just could not wrap my head around like how is this simple, like how is this even a thing, because where I grew up and everything, like it was you're putting a lot of cheese on things, you're like,
Yeah.
it's just a kind of an overload of all this heavy stuff.
Yeah. Meat,
um
cheese. That's what we
yeah,
do.
yeah, but like I was eating like fried fish out there, drinking beer, but walking a bunch, and like I'm doing all the things I love, and I was like losing weight too. I'm like, wait, what? Like, what is happening? So it was just like, it was a lot of just kind of like, what the heck is going on? But yeah, there's definitely top dishes. Right now I can't even think of one that I like absolutely
No.
love.
But you mentioned several, so I'm
Yeah,
good. I'm like,
yeah. I mean, like they
you're
have this.
making me
Oh,
hungry for a
there's
snack.
so
So.
actually, I will say there's this. No, there is a mind blowing dish that I was pretty obsessed with, and tried to recreate it so many times, but I just cannot. It's called magro con tomate,
Hmm.
and it was actually like a specialty dish in Valdepeñas, the small village that I was in, and it's basically just like stewed pork meat, like in like a kind of like a wine sauce, and they would serve it with like fries. So freaking good. Like I don't even understand
It
like
sounds
how.
like a Spanish version of like poutine. Like
Oh really?
I don't know.
Yeah,
It's what
yeah.
it sounds like because you said it's over fries, right?
Well, so they have like the fries on the side, but yeah, it's
Yeah.
like
Okay.
basically like a stewed meat sauce and then like these like chunks of meat and everything, but it's just so freaking good.
That's
But yeah,
amazing.
like I don't know like what they do in the back of those kitchens, but I want to figure it out.
Oh, do you have any kind of Spanish elements on your menu right now?
Yeah, so actually, I was kind of sad because when we first opened, I had a lot more. I had gambas al ajillo, which is garlic and shrimp, and it's like a kind of like a sherry vinegar type of dish or whatever. super, super good. But in Kansas City, like I was trying to educate people on it daily, and it was pretty hard
Yeah.
to keep it on the menu. You know, it's like we're purchasing really fresh shrimp and everything, and then like it's not being like sold like it needs to and everything. I had to end up taking that off. But we do have, so it's actually a Portuguese inspired dish. So when I was in Porto, they would have these Portuguese carrots, and it's like
Mm.
these like kind of Moorish spices and like
Ooh.
just like kind of like a pickled carrot salad type
Hmm.
of thing. And so I ended up like kind of recreating our own and putting it on the menu and putting
Oh
it
yeah.
kind of as a side item for the pizza. And so we would just give it out as a tapa, like a free tapa, complimentary,
Oh.
and like before they would get their pizza, so like while they wait they could snack on that. And so it really was just getting like a lot of people to eat their vegetables at the time. But then I started getting a lot of like questions about it, and people were like, man, like, like what is this? And then they started like wanting to order like the actual salad. So then we ended up actually putting it on the menu. And so it's, probably one of our top like items. But we also have like mixed olives, because like any tapas bar you go to, you're always going to
Yeah.
get some type of olives. Yeah, so we're like right now we're working on putting some pinchos on the menu. So it's going to be like kind of like a meat skewer with like an aioli sauce and stuff on it.
Hmm.
And so we're working on some things like for kind of end of summer menu and stuff. But yeah, like I mean, like basically my idea was to have pizza in small plates, and like, or the pizza and tapas, and like, have those small bites to go with the pizza, because you want to share that meal with everyone, and everyone wants to taste things. And oh, we also have risotto bites,
Yeah.
which is one of our like most popular tapas, which is
Mhm.
very Italian. but
Oh yeah.
um but in a sense, like I feel like all of them kind of share different dishes anyway, and they make it
Hmm.
their own. The first time I had risotto actually was in Spain.
Yeah.
It was like a broccoli infused one. But yeah, so yeah, we just have like those elements on our menu now, and like I do have plans on kind of putting on some like seasonal salads and certain stuff like that. But I have had to reel back a few things. Like I put cheesy
Yeah.
bread, like it's like a roasted garlic cheesy bread on our menu, and it like is on every order.
Yeah.
But like, the shrimp, it was like on like every like, 10th maybe. But
Yeah. Yeah.
so
And
yeah,
with food
it's
costs, you're like, I gotta figure this out.
yeah, you just kind of have to like look at yourself in the mirror and say, hey, like you could probably do this on like a special tapas
Yeah.
night or something. But for right now, like as a regular menu item, we're just gonna have to pivot. Um, so yeah, like it's sometimes disappointing, but it's also a reality of like, you have to know your market, and your customer really, they know what they like.
Yeah.
And so like with the carrots, it was like that was kind of a good win, because it was introducing people to something that they hadn't ever seen and tasted, and so now they're hooked, and like that's something that
Yeah.
they really like. So maybe we just have to package the gambas al ajillo different. I don't know, but definitely room for opportunity for sure.
Awesome.
Cool. Um, I know that we are almost out of time, but since this is our Rising Stars issue and you are a rising star, what should we watch for from you? What are your hopes and plans for the next couple of years?
Yeah, I've been thinking about this a lot lately, just outside of this, but just career wise on where I want to be and what I want to do. And like I love being in the restaurant industry. I want to continue to maybe like do some concept development with other people, some more like collaborative things. But I would also really love to create some products, and
Yeah.
like really kind of go down the rabbit hole of that. Don't really know if that's sauces or dressings or whatever, but I would love for Orange to continue to be a neighborhood staple, and I would love for it just to buzz like those tapas bars that I would go to and everything. And I feel like we're on that brink of that happening right now. But yeah, like personal goals, I really just I want to continue to find time to be creative and do some fun stuff. Like really just like let go, do some fun projects, and really just see where it takes me. Honestly,
That's amazing.
Thank you so much, Jai. It was a pleasure talking to you.
thanks so much for having me, and I
Excellent. We wish
appreciate
you the
you.
best.
Yeah, thanks so much.